Morgen. It's Monday morning. We forgot the other day that Drew's auntie is coming into town to help me organize and clean the apartment. So that's wonderful, actually. I need the help. Oh, there's so much to do. We're about a week away from the movers coming to take all of our stuff, which means that we're moving into TLF on Friday. What's TLF? I think it's time for a military abbreviation of the day. Okay, TLF stands for Temporary Living Facilities, probably. TLF stands for Temporary Lodging Facilities. It's where military people, their families, and sometimes their pets go when their regular housing isn't available, like when they're in the middle of moving. We're getting TLF at our base here. We're getting some TLF on our way to catch our plane flight, and we're getting TLA, temporary lodging accommodations, which is different somehow when we land at our new base. Last night I dreamed that I was trapped in what looked like a job retraining program but ended up being a prison, and I mounted a protest and started throwing things around the room, and everyone joined in and the cops had to come and shut it down. I'm not sure what my brain is saying, but I think maybe it means that I really want this move to be over with. Night before last, I had a dream that John Green called me out of the blue so that he could interview me for his podcast, Dear Hank and John, and yet I was at my dad's house where there's absolutely no signal because it's in the middle of nowhere, and it ended up being a horrible interview. I didn't promote my blog or my YouTube channel or anything. I just kind of chatted with John Green, which in reality it would fulfill some dreams in my life. But, I didn't do anything else worthwhile for me or give him a great interview, and so that was really disappointing. So I might also be having some feelings about finding a job soon and being able to support myself and doing a good job at my career with this big move coming up. It's a thing, guys. The struggle is real. The milspouse struggle is super real. I'm drinking a French press of freshly ground coffee from Coffee 101 here in San Angelo. They're fantastic. Really, my only complaint is that they store their beans in the freezer, which I don't agree with because you get little ice crystals on it. But honestly, the coffee I've gotten from them tastes fresh, so they're doing something right. Either they use it quickly enough that it hasn't had time to get that layer of frostbite or something. But they do a really good breakfast blend. Yesterday I learned that my husband doesn't know how to make French press coffee, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll make you coffee, no problem. But now I have to show him how to use a French press. I feel like that's, if you're really into coffee, like military people are really into coffee, you need to know how to make French press. That's the top tier of coffee, man. It's just the most delicious. You gotta get in on that, guys. If you don't know how to make a French press, well, if you don't know how to make a French press of coffee and you want to know, leave me a comment. Maybe I'll make a video showing you how. We're not going to have a coffee maker for a little bit when we get over there, so it'll probably be French presses all the way. And I'm not complaining. It's delicious. French presses are the only coffee I can drink without milk or sugar in them. And you might be thinking, but Bon, aren't you pregnant? Are you supposed to be drinking coffee? Doctor says my heart rate and my blood pressure are both fine. I do need to stay hydrated, so no, I cannot drink too much coffee. But generally for pregnant ladies, 1 cup of coffee or 2 shots of espresso per day is fine. So if you're like a 4 cups a day kind of person, you gotta cut back. When I go to Starbucks and get an iced latte or something, I usually get it half calf. When I'm at home, honestly, I make a full cup of coffee, usually don't finish it. It's just your taste buds change. Bon, how's the pregnancy going? I know you're all thinking, that's part of the reason I'm doing this vlog. I kind of want to start doing a weekly thing so that my family can watch it and get an idea of how I'm doing, how we're doing, how things are going overseas since we'll be there in a few weeks, that kind of thing. Oh God, we'll be there in a few weeks. Okay. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. So, I want to keep my friends and family updated, but I also don't have time or money for extra data to make 1 million phone calls. I love all of you, and I also kind of hate Facebook. It has its uses, but like in general, I think it's a scourge. So if we could just kind of let me update you guys through YouTube. I'll post the videos on Facebook. I know a lot of y'all don't like to navigate away from it, you know? Anyways, how's the pregnancy going? Good. Actually, I feel pretty good, aside from the weird dreams about John Green and being in prison. But honestly, that could have happened any time. I have weird dreams. My subconscious is very good about telling me what's going on. The weirdest part about a military move, because I've made a lot of moves in my time. I've moved around a lot. But all those times, I've packed and moved my own self. So the fact that there are people coming to pack us up is weird. It's weird to me that I'm still like sitting on furniture and that there's still stuff on the walls. Because what I'm used to doing is 3 months out, I go through and I purge everything, so I get rid of trash and stuff we don't need anymore and old clothes. And then I start taking stuff off the walls and I box up anything non-essential, and then I slowly start boxing up more and more essential stuff until it's time to move, and then I just put it in the U-Haul and I leave. So I had it down to like a system, but that was also just for me, not for a husband and 2 dogs. You have to change your ways when there's other people involved, and that's true with work projects, life, anything. When there's more people involved, you have to do it differently. But, so we're having to do it differently. There's just a lot of stuff to get together, but then I look around and I'm like, well, the fiddly parts though, wrapping up our stemware and, putting all of our clothes in boxes and all that stuff, wrapping the plates in old towels, we don't have to do any of that because there's professional movers coming with professional moving supplies, and they're hopefully going to get everything put together for us, and then they load it onto a truck and then they ship it to our new destination, so that when it gets there, all I have to do is unpack, which is the fun part. So far I'm liking this arrangement. It's pretty good stuff. I hope my head's not cut off in this. This is a new venture. It'll get better. One day I'll have something other than overhead lighting. I had a job interview last week for a part-time job over there. I couldn't really jump into anything full-time right away being pregnant, but this is still a job in higher ed, and so it's in my industry, and I'd really like to keep doing something. I have like 6 months to go on this pregnancy. I can't just sit around the whole time. I'm already kind of bored. I quit my job a couple weeks ago, and I'm already kind of like, so doing more key spouse stuff and getting ready for the move is helping that, but it's weird not going to an office and contributing to the larger part of society every day. I realize I'm contributing to my home life by making sure that my husband doesn't have to take extra time off work that he cannot take off work to try and get all this together, but it's just weird. It's just weird. It's different types of contribution, I guess. Let's see. Ooh! Email from HR. Yes! They want to call my references. That's awesome. That is almost always an indication, for those of you who don't job hunt constantly like I do, that they're seriously thinking about hiring you, because it takes a lot of time and you have to get HR to do extra stuff to call up your references. So that's really awesome. I might have a job lined up before I even get overseas. That is so exciting. Yay! So excited. Okay. So if you guys like this kind of thing, I will hopefully be doing it once a week. It may not always be on Mondays because stuff. And, but, hopefully I'll get into a regular kind of thing where I can film it, go ahead and, slap it together in my editing software and get it posted so that you guys have at least some kind of weekly update of how I'm doing. And later on, once we get to our new place, I can show you around and you can see some cool overseas stuff. So, have a good day, my babies. I love you.